No, but probably people think about Sir Alex and think he was some kind of madman. It was always shouted and the famous air dryer and all that stuff. But when he got it wrong, he told you that as well. But there was only people inside the club who will probably see that side of him. People like you and everybody else won't know he was like that. Look, to play for him was great. There was two things he probably demanded from his teams and every single player that he will always say to this day, I think. One was to have confidence. You had to have confidence to take the ball anywhere on a football pitch. You had to always go into a game being confident, knowing that you're gonna, not knowing, but thinking that you're better than the opposition. And your confidence had to be sky high. If you saw that drop, he'd probably leave you out. And I think probably the most important thing, the second thing, was a will to win. If you didn't have a will to win, there was no way he was ever going to play in his team. And he could see that every single day. Without coaching, he watched the games, he watched the way it was competitive, the way everyone's kicking lumps of shit out of each other to try and win a game. And that had to transfer into a weekend and a midweek game as well. So if you had them two qualities, he was happy enough with you.
Scholes, just what you're talking about the confidence there. So I always think back to certainly when we were in the the B team, just a little bit before that. You remember we would have went to Northern Ireland for the Milk Cup.
Yeah.
And this always resonates with myself, actually. So we'd go over there in our tracksuits. So obviously Liverpool,
yeah.
whether you agree with us or not, a great team, always have been. But then you go to the Milk Cup, and we're there in our tracksuits. And I remember you all turn up in suits. Now,
I knew you were going to say that, yeah.
No, but that what you're saying there about having the confidence, so that's telling you that you're confident up to wear suits, and it's showing everyone else that we are Manchester United. And that certainly is your temperament straight away going to a game in a suit. Did that make you feel bigger than everyone else, certainly as a young kid, or bigger and better than everyone else? Or was that where the confidence starts from?
I'd have rather wear a tracksuit any day of the week, Robbie. They were uncomfortable at suits, but that's the way he did it from day one. And that's the way he wanted people to see us. He wanted to see us as we were smart, we looked confident. He didn't want, and I'm not saying teams look scruffy in tracksuits, but sometimes they can do a little bit, can't they? Mm-hmm. So you know what you like with some players, sometimes they wear different T-shirts. It could be a nightmare, can't it? And he wanted us all looking exactly the same. He wanted looking prim and proper, like, you're there with your chest out, looking smart with a suit on. And that's the way he wanted it. The amount of times we asked if we could travel in a tracksuit to European games, to European, it's like that come to him, not a chance. He wanted you out there so everyone could see you smart and representing the football club.
I'm sorry to do.
I know what you're going to say, Chris, but that sort of brings me into what I'm going to say now. So think back to 1996, Scholesy. One of these. So we tried all that confidence stuff. It didn't really work with us. So you know when you turn up at Wembley. And,
yeah, but we look smart. You like a bunch of catwalk models, isn't it?
Oh, you know what was bad? I tell this story anyway. So we went there, Wembley, in our these suits, and look, we'll talk about later whose idea it was to wear these suits. But we've all got these like cream suits on. And when at Wembley, as you know, you walk out, don't you? And the crowd see you, all the players on the pitch, and they let out this big crescendo of noise, don't they? That, we're here to support you and we're going to give everything we've got in our lockers to help you today. We walked out and no one said a word, right? We goes into the middle of the pitch. And I honestly thought the crowd thought we were the band. They reckon, they must have, it's the Liverpool team. They must have thought we were sitting there with Jason McAteer and Stevie Mack with the trombones, Stan Collymore with his drums. But Scholes,
I never thought about that.
Did that have any effect on your? It shouldn't do really, because obviously you knew what we were like as a team. But did that have any effect on who the bloody hell do these think these are?
I'm sure there would have been a little element of that, Robbie. Like, when you walk out, it's tradition when everybody walks on the pitch before before the final, we walk out and see your suits, and we just think, what the fuck are they on? what is going on? And you'd like to think, yeah, that might give us a bit more of a chance, but realistically, it doesn't. What you're wearing shouldn't really affect you. And I think it was that a 1-0 game. Is that where Eric scored the last minute?
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, it was the worst game ever, wasn't it?
I actually don't remember anything other than the goal, in all honesty.
I just remember it's the worst game ever, and Eric's goal, that was it.
Brilliant. Well, I'm glad that, because no one else remembers this goal. Everyone only remembers it because we were dressed like the Beach Boys. That's what it was.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Like the band.
You've got to tell us then, Rob, whose idea were the suits?
I think at the
Gotta
time...
Be
David James was sponsored by Armani. And I think he did, whether it was his decision, I don't know, but he was the one who maybe put us on to Armani. You know, the best thing about it is, Scholesy, as well, you know when you get to a cup final, and someone will supply the suits, won't they? So you get the suits for nothing. Yeah. We actually bought them as well. Well, we actually had to pay for them.
Did nobody complain, Robert? What about the senior players? Was John Barnes in that squad?
I think they were.
What about the manager?
No, if you think back to the game as well, you see all the players going out. All the management had black suits on, though, you know. So maybe they should have cottoned on and said something. But I think it might have been one of them. Let's just let them go. If they're comfortable. What you were saying there before about tracksuits, you know, can we wear these or can we do this? You know, sometimes you go, just to like maybe appease people or make them be as comfortable as possible. Our management were probably to giving it that then, weren't they? They'll be all right, they'll be fine. Because what you're saying there, Scholesy, as well, when Brendan Rodgers was at Liverpool manager, and I think I might have been in Australia. I don't even know where I was actually, Australia or Thailand. I don't even know. Mate, a little bit of a different level to what you were doing, but I was training. It was all right. And Liverpool were at the time were maybe struggling for goal. And I actually sent Brendan Rodgers a message saying, if you want me to come out of retirement, not retire, if you want me to come over and play, you know, and I won't even get paid, I'll gladly do it. He never replied to me. I just got a message back saying, "Who's this?"
Not very nice of him, is it?
Oh no, Scholesy, tell me about your obviously your comeback then on your first game your first game on the return was Man City. Is that right? The story, but you had to buy your own boots as well.
Yeah. Well, for some reason, I don't know why the manager didn't want anybody to know about it. I don't know why. There was. I think I'd asked him if we could come back on the Sunday or the Monday before that game, and the reserves were due to play on the Thursday night at Newcastle, and I was going to play in that game, but it got called off. So people would have, they got the gist of it then, obviously. But I couldn't. I had no boots. With coaching, we just had the old, the standard, shitty pair of Black Knight boots that the clubs hand out. But I couldn't tell my sponsor. I didn't have a sponsor at that time, obviously. But when I finished playing, it was Nike. So I couldn't tell Nike that I needed a pair of boots for the game because obviously people had caught on. For some reason, the manager didn't want people to know. So I went to my local DW. I think it was called it might have been called JJB then. I can't remember. And I haven't bought a pair of boots for 20 years. So I didn't know what price they were or anything. I think I bought a pair for about 45 quid.
Oh, so you got the cheaper ones then as well?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. I had no idea boots were 120 quid for a pair of boots. So I bought the ones with 45 quid, but I didn't know they were cheap ones. It wasn't until I started warming up in the game and Johnny Evans said, I had the snide ones. I had the plastic ones. I said, only 45 quid. He said, yeah, they must be the ones, yeah. But anyway, getting to the game, and the day before, I'd still not trained with the first team. I didn't train with them at all. I was still training with Warren Joyce's team. And the manager said, look, just come Saturday, I'll have you sub on Sunday, but come as a staff member. So I was dressed in all the staff gear, and we stayed at the Lowry Hotel. I sat on the staff table, even had a glass of red wine with the manager having something to eat. And it was just like as a staff member. And I'm feeling a dick because I know I've got to get to the game tomorrow. He's going to announce me as sub and people are going to come out. I'm like, fuck, I'm not crying, not a bit. I shouldn't be swearing there, really. So, sorry, lads. Anyway, so we get to the game and my kit's laid out. He announces me as sub. And that's when you get a little bit embarrassed. Everyone's looking at you. I knew you were up to something. I knew you were doing something. So I got on with it that way. And then the game came along. We were 3-0 up. I was sub, obviously, 3-0 up with about 20 minutes ago. So the gaffer thought it was safe to put me on. I remember actually warming up and I was thinking, what am I doing? I've got away. Oh, I know I wanted this back, but that feeling of coming back of nervousness and having the pressure on you was a show I really wanted that again. And David Platt was their assistant manager, and he said to me, "What the fuck are you doing?" Exactly. And I couldn't speak. I just wanted to say to him, "Look, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but it's got fuck all to do with you." I'm just thinking about getting on that pitch